Is that going to be your wrestling character?
Is it all in
dude, honestly, Cookie, you look like a wrestler right now.
I know. That's I could
walk into George South wrestling school, be like,
you look like
top, George.
If Velveteen Dream got stung by a bee. Welcome to $2 Steak, a pro wrestling podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Varnum. Joining me today, as always, Big Mike. Woo! Tolbert.
I'm here.
And Cookie-O from straight out of Atlanta.
Welcome to Atlanta, where the players play and we ride. All right, sorry. That was my rap album. Sorry, it's coming out soon.
Just a hot mix that's coming out this week.
Cookie is wearing full-on glasses like early 90s.
Flip-up
like
shades.
the flip-up shades.
Oh, yeah.
And he got his hair braided today. Cookie, one, why are you in Atlanta? And two, tell me what the fuck is going on?
Well, listen, I'm in Atlanta to hang out with some friends. Okay. Haven't seen them in a long time. Great friends.
All right.
I'm going to be actually hosting their wedding coming up in like the next year. So,
You're hosting it?
yeah, I'm
Are you
literally
going to speak over them like you spoke over me like when you were trying to host the wrestling thing with me?
Aaron, why are you talking about the past, man? All right. This is a new cookie. This is a new vibe.
Oh, it's a new cookie. All right. Yeah. I will be tweeting out this, so by the time you listen to this, just go through our Twitter and our Instagram at $2 steak _ and just see the greatness that is Cookie currently.
So you're in Atlanta. Tell me, I can't even look at you, Cookie. Like, so what's been going on in Atlanta? How's everything? I know you got to do some touring. You had to buy some marijuana. Tell me about that,
dude. The first thing we do as soon as we come in, Bobby's like, we're going to the gas station. And I'm like, oh, all right. Yeah, all right. We'll go to the gas station. You got to fill up, whatever. And sure enough, I end up at an apartment complex. And I'm like, Bobby, what? Like, I thought you were going to get weed and gas up. He was like, yeah, dude, we're going to the gas station. And I literally get a prescription bag at this apartment complex. Random dude shows up and gives us pretty good weed out of a prescription bag. I don't know if you guys can see that.
Is weed legal in Georgia?
It's decriminalized. So, like, this dude has a website, call support, and, like, he has daily deals.
Criminalized everywhere.
He's got a call center? Did you just
got
say
a call center.
Like customer support?
Does he have an
Yes, you
HR
can
team?
look it up.
All that means is you're not going to get in as much trouble.
Did it come in like an orange like prescription vial?
Hold on.
You should have had this up like when all right, he's pulling it out.
I love how they call it the gas station because you get in that gas.
What is that? What I don't see like it just looks.
It like comes in a black bag. I don't know.
Talking to your mom.
It's a black. I don't know how to describe it.
69 weeks, and we're still learning to talk into our mics here on $2 Steak, and I am pissed. Oh, speaking of which, it is 69 weeks of professional wrestling podcasting from your boys here at $2 Steak. We're going to talk a little bit about that in a little while. Cookie, anything else happening in Atlanta before I move on to Tolbert's interesting stories as well?
Hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Got my hair braided and, you know, I'm chilling. I'm vibing right now. Smoking some good stuff.
All right.
Hot Atlanta is the shits. That's all I got to say. It's lit.
It's lit. Have you been wearing a mask or are you going to come back with COVID?
No, I've been 100% wearing a mask everywhere I go. The disc golf course, everywhere.
Gotta find time to disc golf while in Atlanta.
How many times have you disc golfed since you've been in Atlanta?
Twice.
Oh my God!
Are there a lot of disc golf courses in Atlanta?
There's at least 10.
More than I thought. More than I would have thought.
All right, well, Cookie in the Chocolate City. All right, so next up, Tolbert, you have been...
I'm back, baby.
You're back. Last week, we had Zane sit in for you. Tell me, how was the mountains?
It was awesome. We went off grid. We lost cell phone service.
Right.
We had some campouts. We pooped in holes.
I'm sure your wife really wants to.
Dude,
for
she
you
was
to
a champ. She was a champ. She dug her own latrine holes. We set up camps, man. We did the thing.
Did you catch any fish?
Did caught some trout, some small ones. But
Keepers or no?
no
Cookie
keepers.
is lighting up a
It was-
blunt while we're talking.
Hell yeah. ATL, baby. Is that gas?
Damn it. It's going to be like the birthday cake episode.
Yeah, exactly. But it caught some fish, some small ones. I was in some remote small streams at some points. It was cool. We were in Maggie Valley, Cherokee area. At one point, we went to a couple overnight campsites.
Right?
I was like, babes, book this killer campsite.
Were they like
last
primitive
night.
or was it like a KOA campsite where it's
Borderline,
like
imagine KOA/Airbnb, right?
Okay, that's
Still
not
in
bad.
the middle of nowhere, still some awesome places where we stayed. But the last night, I was like, we're going like backcountry for a little bit. Had to, right? So we drive to Maggie Valley, Cherokee area. Just happened to find this place off the side of the road. GPS is on the fritz, whatever. We find this place, right? Dirt road, gravel road. We start driving down. I mean, you're looking down at some points. I'm talking like 8 to 10% grade at some points.
oh, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
And it winds around down into the hollow. So we keep driving,
Holler.
fucking driving.
It's a holler.
It's a holler, excuse me.
A
We keep
hollow.
driving and driving and driving, right? And this is at some points like I'm three-wheeling our Subaru Forester, rocking it, going over some shit, but it's fun. I've got experience in off-roading. Subaru's
Well versed.
doing
From
great.
Fayetteville, where it's flat as like the flattest you can fucking think of.
Anyway, so we continue on. It takes us about 45 minutes to get about 3/4 of the way down this road, right? Okay. We've been battling it out the whole time. We turn a bend. Here comes a fucking Mack dump truck
Okay.
up around the bend.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And they've been dumping gravel to grade the road. And I'm like, well, shit. So I have to reverse about a half mile up this trail that we've been trekking our way down. It
How-
was insane.
What was Katie saying during this
She was
reversing?
literally shaking. And at one point, I thought she was going to just get out of the car. She was about to grab the handle and get out of the car. And I had to calm her down a little bit. I actually had to say, hey, in a very polite way, I said, please be quiet for the next.
Shut up, bitch!
Were you high while you were doing this? Chris,
I mean,
are you in the
no,
correct
no,
mindset to
I mean,
reverse up a mountain?
I ripped the pin, and we were doing a lot of highway driving, so I ripped the pin a couple times. But
oh my
needless
God.
to say, I reversed up this thing, got this dump truck around me. We had a great time. We continued down into the hollow and set up camp, and I trout fished and walked around naked in the woods, pooped in holes, and did all kinds of things. Ate some beans.
So this
out of
is
a
like the
can.
opposite of what Cookie's doing right now. Like, so you guys could not like you guys are on like mirror images of what's going on in each other's
It
life.
was awesome, though. Yeah, it is mirrored.
He's in the middle of the city. He's having a good time. Yes, Cookie.
Well, I will say I did get out and I got to see the Georgia Aquarium. All right, so I got to see some
Dude,
beluga whales and
Did
some
you see
tiger
the whale
sharks.
sharks? Did you see
Yeah.
the fucking whale sharks? God damn. Dude, I went a few months ago. It was amazing. My brother lives in Decatur, and it's awesome, dude.
Cookie, have you been
Fucking
able to
cool.
walk around in Atlanta just naked and
And afraid?
I was not afraid. Katie was afraid of bears, and we definitely had to like do the thing where you lock your food up and all that shit.
Did you wrestle a bear?
I wanted to. Did not see any bears.
Zane will be very disappointed to hear that?
But it was a good time. I lost cell phone service. I did not even look at the news or anything for about 4 days.
So what was your thoughts when you found out we have a hurricane coming?
I got back. I was like, God damn. Don't unpack the camping gear, but we got lanterns, batteries, water. I've got all the shit. I didn't even have to unpack. I just put it in the living room and we're ready.
Thank God that this podcast is like hosted in a like a central part of the United States. What we use Podbean for our hosting. I will upload this shit, and if we lose power, it's still going to come out on Tuesday
on
morning
Tuesday,
at 7 a.m.
Hurricane or not.
So while everybody's got no power, you can listen to the fucking podcast.
Download that on your 4G.
That's right. Not 5G.
Not the 5G.
Not
We're not getting
5G.
that COVID.
So, Mike, you had a 10-year anniversary with your
Yeah.
wife. Tell me about that.
So I'm rocking day 3 of a 3-day weekend. I took Friday off. Friday, my wife and I celebrated
wife.
10 years of marriage, glorious marriage, awesome marriage. We went to the beach, Curry Beach.
Okay.
Excuse me, Mike.
Yeah.
It's Curie Beach.
Curie?
It's Curie.
Kerr Beach.
Car.
And, it was fun. I found out. So we've gone to the beach a couple times with the boys. So I got 2 under 2 currently. Elliot is about to turn 2 years old in a couple weeks. And we got a baby. I found out that you really do need a third adult when you got kids like at that age range, because, one adult is clearly taking care of the infant.
Right.
And then Elliot, you got to play man coverage with this kid.
Yeah.
You can't play man coverage. You got to play zone. Because you're currently trying to play man coverage.
24.
And
He's juking you.
Dude, he's just running around nonstop, going up to people.
You're getting burnt.
He has no idea what coronavirus. I wish I had the mindset he does, because he doesn't know what coronavirus is. He's just running up to people, getting all up in their shit. It was, not as relaxing as I was hoping to be on a Friday. At, 8 a.m. at the beach. My tent almost blew away. So it was stressful, and we were only there for a little bit, but I had a great time. Got to golf yesterday, and I played some flag football today.
So the golfing, was that with your wife of 10 years?
No.
Okay.
No. Her day was Friday.
All right. So she only had one day.
Well, she
didn't have 10 days.
She's
I
had
would
10
think like a year.
glorious years
Okay.
with me.
Now, I don't know if I would consider them glorious. I've been around for
10 years,
5 of those years.
10 glorious years of marriage.
And I know.
We've been together 18 years, so it's been a while. But no, it was fun. Elliot, is a handful, but you know what? He warmed my heart. His gift to me for our 10-year anniversary, he started doing Hulk Hogan leg drops around the living room.
That's good.
Like literally,
I've witnessed some of
running
these.
full speed,
Okay.
jumping in the air. Because Elliot, what's a froggy do? Ribbit, and he jumps. But then he jumps and he sticks one leg out and just lands on it. And then he started doing one on me, which I didn't really appreciate too much, because he does them right on my stomach and or nuts.
I heard he frog splashed his brother.
Well, that was a couple weeks ago.
That was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he hit.
Oh, you did mention that.
Yeah,
We mentioned
yeah.
that a couple weeks ago on the podcast.
My son, and honestly, he's not watched any wrestling in a long time, because his bedtime, he winds down in the bedroom when AEW comes on. I don't watch any WWE stuff anymore, so I don't know where he's picking it up, but he's picking it up.
He's a natural.
Mike, also
He's a
tell
natural.
me about the Bobo spot that he did.
Oh, well, apparently my son finds it very interesting and fun. I was bending over to pick up my infant out of the bouncer. We have one of those like over the door bouncer things.
Yeah.
And I'm bending down to pick up Hudson out of this bouncer, and I, break wind, whatever. You do your thing,
You
right?
fart, yeah.
You fart. Apparently Elliot was close by, and he proceeds to shove his finger up my ass.
So he tried to plug up the hole.
Put it back.
He said, "What was that?" Huh? And I'm like, "Whoa!" I'm still 20 years away from this thing, Elliot. What are you doing, bud?
Mike came.
No, I did not. I clenched. I clenched hard.
Anyway.
But yeah, that's Elliot. He's exploring the world and finding himself, I guess.
Oh, wow. 2 years old. He's already
Aaron,
doing the Bobo spot.
What did you do this weekend?
What did I do this weekend? I watched I had a very low key. I worked on my big project that I had going on for class. I'm studying who I hate, the one group of people that I hate.
Wrestling fans?
I'm studying wrestling fans.
I can't wait for this. I can't wait to see your presentation.
My teacher, I presented it to my teacher. My teacher's like, holy crap, that's actually like a really interesting topic. And she's done some research on fandoms before, sports fandoms. And she was like, I never thought about professional wrestling fans. And she's very interested in it.
Did you watch that Eddie Kingston promo I sent you?
Yes.
Where he called all the wrestling fans the C word?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I feel the same way. I completely feel the same way. I actually was listening to that while I was doing my research. And I'm like, yep.
Yep.
So I did that. I watched the UFC pay-per-view Thursday or Tuesday. I cooked here for the lady and I, and we while she was hanging out, and I was doing a trivia thing online, and it was 80s funk and R&B. I was very nervous that I was not going to be able to pull this one off in my musical knowledge, but I came in first. I'd like to thank all the strong black men in my life that have influenced my musical taste. Thank you, Cookie. Cookie's throwing up the fist right now. I would like to thank also Uncle Charlie and the Gap Band for being there for me when I have gone through tough times in my life. George Clinton for always being there with me and all that stuff. Carl Carlton, because she is a bad mama jamma.
What was your thoughts when you knew you were going to win?
What was my thought? I honestly did not think I was going to win for a little while, but like I was like looking at my competition. I'm like, they don't know anything about this stuff. But I started like clapping. Jasmine sent it to her father. Her father was very proud of me for knowing all this stuff. I was so proud. I put on some whispers. We were listening to, and the beat goes on. That's the musical interlude for me today. Yes, Cookie.
Aaron, I think you might be in, man. I think you've made a great impression with the father.
I was able to eat the oxtail. I was able to name the music. I am in.
That's two things right there.
What are your thoughts that Aaron is blacker than you?
Well, see, that's why I had to come down here to Hot Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? I had to come down here, and I had to switch up the look. All right, because Aaron was getting way too far ahead of me in this black race between us.
Thank you, Cookie. Cookie, I will never take that title from you. You are one of my greatest influences.
Why don't you just braid your hair, Aaron?
I can't right now. My hair's not long enough to braid it.
Like 2 more weeks, we could braid it.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But then I'll look like one of like the members of like Twisted or something. Like like
You would look like a juggalo.
Yeah.
I would look
Can I
like a
spray paint your
juggalo.
face?
Yeah. We'll do that. We'll do that.
Aaron,
In fact, I've got some spray paint my father left while we were building the deck last weekend, which we never really talked about on the podcast.
You have a deck now.
I have a deck now.
It looks like.
Did you look at it?
I've seen it in pictures.
Okay.
Haven't been out back yet, but we had the conversation how it looks like a wrestling ring.
Yeah, it does.
It's a little small, but I think we can make it do.
It's
we can
my
put some
house is
canvas
tiny,
over it.
y'all. Like my house is like full of. It's 900 square feet. 400 of those square feet are professional wrestling memorabilia.
Yeah.
Like it's not like
a very bright WCW sign.
along with Das Wunderkid. All right, boys. So this 69 episodes. I know some people would say the 70th episode would be a milestone episode for us, but not us here on $2 Steak. We're very lowbrow. 69 episodes of Professional Wrestling Podcast. And this week, all of our matches are too hot for TV. Too hot for you. You remember back in the day, they would have like, you could call this number and order Cops. Too hot for TV. All the things that you couldn't see on broadcast television that we like. So it'd be like a blurred out titty would be like shown.
You know, you used to stay up late for that.
Yeah,
commercial.
No, yeah. Aaron used to watch the Travel Channel with Brooke Burke.
Oh, all the time. All the time.
Hey guys, we have a visitor.
Is it Bitey?
No, it's not Bitey. It's I don't.
Oh Jesus!
I don't
Christ.
know. Who is this? What the fuck? Oh my god!
Hey,
It is the peanut butter
forgotten
pancake
child.
himself.
Oh wow!
I'm glad he's wearing his mask.
The prodigal son
has
Mr.
returned.
Matt Davenport.
Davenport,
It's
we're so
about
glad
time.
to see you.
I don't think we've seen Davenport in at least 30 episodes.
30
Wow.
episodes.
So we have a baby face drop in.
Look at Cookie and tell me what you see. Show use your mic real quick.
What does he look like?
He looks like a juggalo.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop is right.
Cookie,
God damn it! That wasn't the look I was going for.
you. And you know what? We will keep this going. Davenport, tell us
Davenport.
about your vacation, about you almost dying. I would like to hear about this.
I actually forgot about that. I almost died.
Yeah,
The hypoxia. The hypoxia makes him forget.
So I didn't actually almost die, but I kind of almost died.
okay.
So there's an island. So my parents or my mom's side of the family has a beach or a lake house up in upstate New York,
Right.
up by Plattsburgh, like almost Canada.
Okay.
And so I'm like, I'm going to swim to this island over on the lake. And so my dad's like, that's probably a bad idea. It's pretty windy. And I was like, no, I'll be all right. I'll be all right. Pretty good swimmer. And so I was
Well,
wearing.
you're on the dive team for the fire department that you work for.
He's one of the guys that recovers dead bodies.
Yeah,
Like for people doing stupid shit like that.
That's exactly what I thought of when I was doing it. I was like, oh, I can't breathe. I'm kind of sinking. So I wore a full face mask that has the nose cup covered. And so that sucked my face and I couldn't breathe, because I was catching waves in the mouth and shit.
Is there waves on this lake?
It was windy.
He said it was windy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Aaron. Lakes can have waves.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm so used to the coast.
Yeah.
All right. So
Me too. So I ripped my mask off and I couldn't catch my breath. And I turned my back to float and I'm like trying to like wave to my, my family on the beach.
Was the last time they saw.
I was like, head over hands waving, but I couldn't put my head over my hand or my hands over my head. Because I was sinking.
How are you sinking?
Yeah, well, that's what I thought too. So they never saw me, and then like this is probably, it seems like a 5-minute ordeal, and I'm like, how can I get their attention to like row out here in a boat or go out here in a boat without causing panic? Because I'm not really in trouble, but I'm gonna be in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So then I just say, a little help.
Oh no!
And all they heard was help. And so my dad and his friend Jerry jump in the kayaks, come over to me, and they're like, "You okay? You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I can't catch my breath, and I just need something to hold on to or stand up." And I was almost to the point where I could stand up on the other side on the island, but my mom was freaking out, runs inside, calls 911. My sister's crying, trying to put the motorboat in the water.
Why am I laughing?
This is Davenport.
Yeah. So they come over and, they're in a panic. I'm like, I wasn't in trouble yet, but I knew where I was going to be in trouble in a minute or two.
That's good. I'm glad that you knew that there was a threshold of panic.
Well, if there's any other firefighters listening, it's the macho thing to never call a mayday. I can make it out. I'm not going to make it.
Yeah. They thought they were going to have to drag the lake for a body.
Well, that's the fucking funny part that shows up. So I run back up the hill, the quarter mile. I didn't run the quarter mile driveway to go meet my mom because she's going to meet the fire and EMS up on the road, and they pull up, and it's one ambulance and about 17 fucking people in their POVs, their personal vehicles. I'm like, and they're all way bigger than me. And I'm like, what the fuck are y'all going to do for me?
They were going to drag the lake. They weren't going to do anything for you. No. They were going to do stuff for your family after the fact.
They're going to find my body. Yeah, that was fun.
All right. Well, that brought some. So we have had all of us. Welcome back to the podcast. Sit down, take a seat. Take a seat, Davenport. I haven't seen you in forever. All right. So let's talk about some extreme professional wrestling tonight. Too hot for TV. Let's talk about wrestling. All right, for our first matchup, Big Mike, you have got El Pentagon. All right, you taking a sip? You're pulling a cookie from last week against Vampiro.
What? I was waiting for you to fucking introduce me so I could do my shit.
Vampiro. Do your shit.
All right. Vampiro versus Pentagon Jr. August 5th, 2015. This is a Lucha Underground. Is it Ultima Lucha?
Yeah, so like they it was kind of like they would use the Ultima Lucha title for like tying the ends up of storylines. Like a season finale sort of thing for them.
So like a little mini WrestleMania kind of thing?
Kinda, but they never had like pay-per-views or anything.
Anyway, okay. This is a no DQs, no countouts, anything goes. All right, so Pentagon Jr. comes out. I love Pentagon Jr. guys. I mean, like
his look is so cool.
He's got the perfect look. It's like a mix between mask. He's got a little bit of face paint on the underside, and he just looks great. Outfit works. Like this guy's a badass. He's wrestling Vampiro. Who the fuck is Vampiro?
Vampiro. We've had one of his matches before.
Have we?
Yeah. Vampiro. It was Sting against Vampiro.
Yeah, so Sting and Vampiro have a long time feud. They don't like each other. I don't like Vampiro.
So Vampiro kind of looked like one of the members of the Misfits for a little while.
I
And
love Vampiro.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love the feud between Sting and Vampiro.
Yeah, I know.
It's
You
pretty
secretly do.
Fucking awesome.
Vampiro was like a guy. He made his name in Mexican wrestling. He came to WCW for a little while, went back to Mexican wrestling. He was the color commentator. He's one of the English language color commentators. Usually when one of the Mexican wrestling promotions like broadcast in America, he was the color commentator for Lucha Underground. Coming out like, did you see what he came out as?
Well, I'm going to.
All right, I'm
Anyway.
sorry. I didn't know if you knew the reference or
No,
not.
I didn't understand the reference, but he comes out looking like a gothic priest.
Yeah, so he's looking like the lead singer of Ghost. Is like he's cosplaying. as.
Huge crowd pop.
Yeah, everybody
they were
loved it.
super excited. I will say, once he took the hat off, he just looked kind of like Uncle Fester.
Yeah, got little. I can see it, bald and white.
And so I'm torn here, Aaron.
Yes.
I don't know. I took a lot of notes.
Okay.
I don't know if I need to go through a play-by-play.
You don't? That's
It is. So it's a no DQ match, right? So it
Okay.
actually starts exactly how I want a no DQ match to start. Most of the time in WWE, even in AEW, like they start in the ring, they start wrestling. Oh, fuck that shit. Like it's no DQ. You're not going to get in trouble. So what's Pentagon do? Grabs a chair, smashes it over Vampiro's
Hell
head
yeah.
before the fucking bell. That's how you start a no DQ
yeah,
match.
you started out the balls to the wall.
I will say commentary, the English commentary on this sells it pretty well.
Matt Stryker, I think. He was your teacher back in the ECW WWE days.
The teacher?
He was called I am your teacher, Matt Stryker. Matt Stryker. What's going on there, Cookie? All right, anyways, so tell me about
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Cookie's messing my spot up. But anyway, he sells it really well. He's talking about Vampiro. Apparently, this guy hasn't wrestled in years, right? Okay. Thanks for the.
I'm sorry, I sat back. I was trying to get comfortable.
So he hasn't wrestled in years, but the commentary says, "Let's see the wicked that evil man can do."
Yes.
Great. It's playing into this
Yeah,
this
it's
no DQ match. Good call. And this is where I kind of go. I don't know how to feel about it. It was a very graphic match. There's a lot of weapons, a lot of blood.
Yeah.
At one point, so Pentagon comes out. He's wearing all white and black. Like that's his garb. That's his get up. By the middle of the match, he's covered in pink. It's all Vampiro's blood. He at one point he continuously smashes Vampiro in the head with a chair. He at one point throws a chair at Vampiro's head and then continuously smashes him. He body slams him on the concrete. At this point, actually, the referee throws up the overhead cross. Like he's like, "No, this is over. We're done. I'm done."
And that was referee. Was that Bryce Rimsberg?
I don't know, man.
The guy from AEW.
I don't know.
All right,
I don't really didn't care that much. And so they bring out the gurney. They start wheeling him away. He pulls a McFoley though. Gets off the gurney. He's like, "No, fuck this. We're finishing this thing." And he gets in the ring. He's talking shit. He pulls out a bag of thumbtacks. I don't know where he got it.
No.
He dumps a bag of thumbtacks. Power slams Pentagon Jr. onto the thumbtacks. It's getting kind of graphic. I'm not a big fan of thumbtacks.
They're gross.
I'm a fan of them, but I'm not a fan of them. I don't know how to feel about them most of the time.
They're gross.
I think back to
I'm a huge fan of thumbtacks.
I think back to one of the matches we had, and
they can hang up anything on your wall.
What was the one referee in WWE? He just got laid off, but there was a really well known
Mike Chioda?
Yeah, it was a Mike Chioda. He was reffing a match. I forget who it was in, but he like goes to count and he smacks his hand on the thumb. Like ever since I saw that, I'm like, dude, yeah, fuck that.
And they're just you can't like possibly get them all off the ring like when you're done with the match, you know?
Yeah. So then at one point, Pentagon grabs a pre-made 3 light tube, like taped together kind of thing.
Yeah.
Smashes it over Vampiro's head again with the head spot. At one point, did Vampiro retire because of head injuries?
Neck injuries.
He had a bunch. They say he had a bunch of spinal surgeries, all this sort of stuff. Pentagon's like beating the shit out of this guy's head, and he smashes this light tube over him, and then he goes full mass transit. Pentagon Jr. goes full mass transit and fucking blades this dude's face with light tube glass. Again, I'm just
Thank you, Cookie.
I'm just kind of, I'm watching this and I'm just like, wow, what is like, this is not the Pentagon Jr. I was expecting.
This is episode 69.
Yeah.
This is too hot for TV, Pentagon Jr.
Pentagon Jr. grabs a couple more light tubes, sets them up in the corner. Vampiro reverses a Pentagon move, throws Pentagon into it. The crowd's going wild. Crowd's loving this thing.
Did you see at one point they were going out into the crowd, fighting in the crowd, and there was like a woman holding her baby, and like they're like doing spots right in front of the baby, and like this child is going to be fucked up for the rest of his life for seeing a man get like murdered in front of him.
I will say right before,
Not just a man, a priest.
Yeah, right. Uncle Fester. And I will say right before he reversed that move and tossed Pentagon into it, he pulled it wasn't quite a Hulk up.
Mm-hmm.
I actually equate it more to like the Ibushi, where he's just taking it. Pentagon's just like kicking him in the stomach and in the face and punching him, hitting him, and Vampiro's just like standing there, just like absorbing it all. And I'm like, all right, well, some shit's about to pop off. And that's when he reversed it and threw Pentagon into light tubes. At this point, Vampiro goes out and just like throws a table into the ring. I will say the camera work on this spot actually was kind of interesting. They pulled to an above ring view. So if you're looking down at the ring and you see a table slide in, you're like, okay, I know where this is going. Yep. And then you see Vampiro with lighter fluid and a lighter, so you know what's going to happen. Right. He lights this table on fire. Long story short, Pentagon slams Vampiro into the table. Vampiro catches on fire. Literally catches on fire. The guy whose job it is to put him out is trying to put him out while he's in the ring. But Vampiro, classic grade school, stop, drop, and roll. So he rolls out of the ring, still on fire, and the fire extinguisher is going off in the ring. This guy's like, oh, fuck, I don't know what to do. By the time he gets to Vampiro on the side of the ring, he's already out because he's been rolling around. He knows what to do. I mean,
he's not stupid.
I will say.
It was kind of like Davenport almost drowning.
Yeah, they ingrained this stop, drop, and roll thing into us in grade school. How many times have you guys caught on fire?
Zero.
I've caught on fire a couple times. One time on a construction site when I was 19, I was laying sewer lines.
Tolbert missed that class. That's why he got held back.
Laying sewer lines, man. It was 30 degrees. We started a fire to get cold. I had pipe grease on my coveralls. My leg caught on fire. I got 2nd-degree burns on my shin.
Well,
Cookie's losing it. Cookie, have you ever caught fire?
Never, man. Never.
There goes my whole shtick about how silly this is.
Yeah, and then Davenport's here. Have you ever caught fire, Davenport? Once or twice. As a fireman, I would think. You're the acceptable,
Yeah, it's not fun.
All right, so anyway, it's a no holds bar, whatever. Vampiro's smoldering on the outside of the ring. Pentagon Jr. goes out there, gets the pin, 1, 2, 3. Pentagon goes back in the ring, kind of does this I just won kind of shtick. Yeah. Vampiro goes back in and does this
very melodramatic thing,
like almost like, you break my arm, finish me. And apparently, the whole reason this entire feud started is because Vampiro interjected in Pentagon was going to break a guy's arm, and Vampiro didn't let him, and that's what led into this entire match.
Okay.
And so Pentagon just, obliged. I will oblige. And he breaks this guy's arm. At that point, Pentagon gets a microphone and he's calling out to his master. Apparently, the guy that trained him, he's speaking to him. He said, "Master, come show your face." Blah blah blah. And we get this Luke Skywalker, Darth Vader thing, and Vampiro goes, "I am your master."
Yeah.
And then they hug and do all sort of shit. And that's
scene.
And I still, after watching it, reading my notes over and over again, and recounting it to you and the crowd that is listening to this podcast, I don't know how to feel about this match.
Somebody go feed Bitey.
At first I was gonna are we gonna pause this thing for your fucking cat?
Wow, Aaron.
Go feed that cat.
His food's right there behind you.
Nobody wants to get bit.
Aaron has anyway. All right.
A feral cat. We talk about it every week.
So at first I kind of liked it, but then I kind of didn't, and then I wanted to shit on it really hard. I'm driving over here. I'm like, Aaron's gonna be mad because I just praised him for picking this awesome match.
No,
now I'm gonna have to shit on this match. I
didn't want you guys
retrospectively looking at it now in this moment. I'm not sure I liked it.
That's fine. It's not Ric Flair against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Yeah, I don't care if you don't like this.
Mostly because not that I want to see fly flippy bullshit, but it's like Pentagon Jr. And it's Lucha Underground. you go into something expecting something, right? And so I didn't get what I was expecting, and it was a letdown in a negative way.
Okay.
And I guess I wasn't expecting blood and guts and like mass transit.
It's episode 69.
Nice.
I was expecting
But
something.
in the lucha setting, you weren't
69!
expecting to see such hardcoreness.
Yeah,
I
well,
guess.
and it was interesting to see Pentagon kind of go hog. I totally forgot about the whole thing where like Vampiro tries to demask Pentagon.
Dude, yeah, that was a pretty graphic picture of like Pentagon with half of his face out.
Well,
just
half of
covered
his
in
face
blood.
out and his paint, and he's got blood because at one point he licked the blood off of Vampiro, off his hand from Vampiro after he bladed him. It's just too much.
Okay, that's all you had to
I
say.
think it was just too much. It's not needed.
All right, there you go.
And with that, I don't think maybe they didn't do a good way of conveying the story within the vacuum that it is this clip of this match.
Okay. If Terry Funk was in it, you would have loved it.
Well, Terry Funk knows how to sell.
That's right. Okay. All right. So Mike, your final thoughts. Thumbs down on this match.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about your social media.
Social media. Let me go ahead and pull up the Instagram. I know Tolbert didn't have service this week. He wasn't doing much. He did manage to get a singular post regarding his attempts to wrestle a bear.
Yeah, I did like that one.
Good effort, Tolbert.
And he also said that he shit in the woods. And then
yeah, he did. He pooped in the woods.
It was nice.
It was Tolbert holding steady, 133 followers. Again,
Lost one, gained one.
Not sure if Tolbert will actually follow through and post a picture of Cookie, but I will say I will tweet out the picture of Cookie. So again,
I've got it locked and loaded.
As referenced earlier, please follow us at @$2steak_ on Twitter and Instagram so you can see the full picture of whatever it is that Cookie is currently.
Whoop whoop.
Twitter, we sniffed, we touched, we had it. We had 300 followers, and then we lost one, boys. I checked it today. We are at 299.
when did you check? I think we got followed by somebody.
I literally just checked it before I came over here.
We're back at 300, bro.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh, we got literally a follower in between. All right, so we're back to 300. 300! Woo! I will say, I haven't been doing a lot of tweeting lately, boys, because my whole goal on Twitter is to find times to either like egg on, shit on wrestling fans, interact with wrestlers. And my Twitter feed is just full of a bunch of bullshit. And why is it full of a bunch of bullshit? Because Aaron follows every fucking thing he finds somewhat amusing. I had to go through today and purge our fucking follow list.
Oh my word.
Because it is ridiculous. The bullshit that I see every day I go on Twitter.
What do you want to find? It's a wrestling podcast.
Yeah, but I don't need to, we don't need to follow a bunch of fucking shitty content. Like I literally miss out on a bunch of shit. Twitter changed their algorithm. Aaron's over here following a bunch of bullshit people. I don't want to see it. It's terrible. It sucks.
Do you have any examples of who Aaron's following?
No, because I unfollowed him angrily earlier. I will say, because I was angry that we dropped from 300, I went back and I did find 2 people that we were following that don't deserve our follow and that are not following us back, and they're just Joe Schmoes. So, are we ready for the list?
Yes.
Who were you? You were the follower and the unfollower?
Yeah, I'm posting the picture of the 300 I unfollowed.
Davenport
was the unfollow.
God damn it.
Well, thanks for the content.
Thank you, Davenport.
All right.
He's bored up there near Canada after drowning.
What a piece of shit.
Now, I'm going to go ahead and get to my list.
Okay.
At JFL89. I would give you his actual, or like his name, but it's all fucking emojis.
Ooh, I like that.
And it says, I'm an 80s baby, but 89. So I was raised more in the 90s. Mostly grew up and down New York. My mother and father did a great job, so I'm very close to my fam.
Oh, God.
Get the fuck out of here. Like, who is this guy? Why the fuck were you following this guy?
I don't know.
He provides no content. He's not interesting. He's just a lame fucking wrestling fan.
Yeah.
He's not even one of us. He doesn't have a podcast. This is just
He's
like this guy is a happy-go-lucky motherfucker. He's living the best life. He doesn't have any misery in his life. He probably still has his fucking job. None of his family died from COVID. Who is this guy?
Close the door. We don't want my neighbors to call the we're gonna have
This is Sunset Park. They're used to hollering.
twice in 1 week. Davenport's been involved with 911 being called.
Aaron, why were you following?
I don't know,
this guy?
dude. I don't know. Next one.
That's it. That's all you.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
All right. At Farrah Case, writer at Japanese Times at National Luau. I don't even know
I followed her because she translates Japanese professional wrestling.
into what.
English.
No, but like on Twitter, like does she like tweet
Yeah.
out like transcripts?
Yeah, she
All right,
like,
well, I unfollowed her ass
Well,
because she wasn't
follow her
following
back.
No, I don't give a shit about what
I
she has to
followed
say.
her because
I don't give a shit what she has to say.
she was
This is my Twitter.
No, it's our
No,
Twitter.
it's my Twitter.
It's our
It's
Twitter.
my attempt to shit on wrestling fans and interject with wrestlers, and you're fucking it up.
It's our Twitter.
No.
Next one.
No, that's it. These are the two. 'Cause
Oh.
This is some Joe Schmo. I don't even give a shit. There's no. I don't even. I'm so angry because there's nothing. Twitter sucks now. You've made my Twitter suck, and I'm mad about it.
All right. Anyways.
Well,
Well,
we're back
Aaron?
to 300 apparently, boys. So good. Go us. Follow us at number $2 steak _.
These people, whoever, do we even want to try it? Do we
No.
want to try it?
Just
No, you sure?
just shun them. I mean, well, with Aaron,
Oh, yeah,
and
with Cookie. Yeah.
and we can just say that they
They made Big Mike's shitless.
Shitless.
You did that one on purpose, you asshole. I saw you do it.
You said to say it when you say Mike's.
You make my heart stand. You make everything groovy.
All right, for the strong style, I'm like thrown off my game. He just yelled at me. I feel like Howard Varnum was in the house. Cookie,
a deck.
yeah, I was last weekend. Cookie has got Mr. Pogo against Onita. He's putting down his glasses, his blast shield.
Well, finally, guys, I got my first Japanese backyard death match.
Yes.
So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen, because I even don't know what I'm going to do with this. All right. First one that comes out, he's huffing and puffing. He reminds me of like a less cool Jeff Hart. Like he's taking everything too seriously. I
Right.
applaud him. Huh?
Yeah, I'm agreeing.
Oh, okay. I applaud him for his Wu-Tang face paint.
Yes.
It's pretty sick.
I thought he looked like a fat Muda.
Yes, he does look like a fat Muda, actually.
Yes.
But this is Mr. Polo, correct?
This is
Aaron?
Pogo. Yep.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Next thing I hear after the close-up of his heavily bandaged head, dun, 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 wild thing.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead, Aaron, finish it off. You make my...
Make my heart sing.
Here we go. That's like, come on, man. I need you to get into this with me. Come on.
Wild thing.
There we go.
Bum, bum, bum.
He is the Japanese embodiment of Ricky Vaughn. Comes out in all of his glory, Mr. Onita. Everyone is chanting Onita before the music has even begun. The place is super hype. All right. So before I get into my countdown, death matches. I have some questions, but
Okay.
I assume the ring is surrounded by 4 barbed wire boards, which when they're falling on, they trigger an ungodly explosion.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
And you have to win in the ring via pinfall
Yeah,
submission.
I don't know. You're acting like I don't speak Japanese. I think
you
that you
gave us
just
this
you,
ma- if
you
this is
do it in the middle. I think,
69.
yeah, there was like a pin attempt. Yeah,
damn, I
I
was
tried
ready
to
to
get
call you
somebody
out.
to translate it this week, but they got unfollowed.
All right. Well, anyway, just get to the countdown.
Cookies, top 4, number 1.
There's not even 2 wrestling moves made before we see Onita get bull rush, pushed down below the 3rd rope, and then Mr. Popo decides to put his boot right under the neck of Onita, and he's pushing with at least 50 to 75% of his strength, just trying to push him down into this barbed wire contraption, whatever you want to call it. The crowd's freaking out. It's still early in the match. Onita can't go out that quickly. So what does Mr. Pogo do? He just slowly brings him back up, then slams Onita's neck back down onto the top rope, knocks him right into the fucking boards, and you hear one of the worst sounds I think I've ever heard. You hear an ungodly explosion.
That's right.
I didn't know. I thought like once the explosion hits, the match is over. So I was like, Aaron just gave me a 5-minute match.
No, I didn't.
It was, I don't know. I think Onita went death for sure. it was holy hell, what an explosion. There's a slow hush over the crowd. Like everyone feels like they're concerned at this point for Onita's health, just because it was crazy.
It was an explosion.
Hey, it was too hot for TV.
That's right. Too hot for episode 69, number 2.
All right, so the second explosion was so lame the way it was triggered, though. Onita gets spiked with a pile driver onto a chair. That was pretty cool. And then Mr. Popo starts rolling Onita to a different side of the ring. He wants to push him into the barbed wire. So I guess Onita comes to, and he's trying to hold on to the ropes for dear life. Well, I guess Onita didn't know that his feet, which are off the apron and touching the platform, would cause the shit to explode. And then he just drops to his knees, and there's a fucking second explosion. Aaron, what the hell did you give me?
I gave you a frontier martial arts professional wrestling match that was one of the most insane things I've ever seen.
Who are these people? I might start yelling at you, Aaron, because
Onita was a humongous deal. Later became a politician in Japan. Like he's like this cult figure in Japanese professional wrestling. At the bachelor party, we watched a match between him and Terry Funk in a similar sort of situation.
Exploding death match.
Yeah. So Onita's this huge deal. He was the guy who owned Frontier Martial Arts Wrestling, FMW. He just a huge deal. Pogo, just kind of like a resident journeyman. But the thing with Onita was trained by Jumbo Tsuruta from AJPW. He was a big deal. He was one of their aces. He was a huge deal in the junior division for AJPW in the 80s. We've not watched a lot of their matches, but he was one of their aces. And then in the 90s or early 90s, he kind of decided to start this new promotion because he wanted to do things a little bit more extreme. And hence the birth of this promotion with the craziest shit that you'll ever see.
Hey, props
Aaron, it was
to
a
him,
fucking
though.
shit show.
Props to him for, being a good manager and saying, I'm not going to ask somebody else to do something that I wouldn't do.
That's right. He does it a lot during this match.
Okay, did you notice, though, that when the second explosion goes off, blah, 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 that stuff happens, but he starts crawling into barbed wire? Did you notice that? And he just starts bleeding everywhere?
Right there.
Yeah. He was one of his trainers was Terry Funk. Honest to God.
I'm not bleeding
Jesus
enough.
Christ.
I'm not bleeding enough.
Listen, Onita got the crowd behind him, and
you could see, Cookie, that he is a cult of personality. Number 3.
all right. Very Ricky Vaughn-esque. You're right. Cult of personality. Onita hulks up after being thrown down and bashed the first half of the match. He just starts throwing headbutts. And I'm not talking about just like regular headbutts. He starts running into him with his fucking head, the crown of his head. He gets Mr. Boho through these second ropes. The crowd's cheering him on. And Mr. Taco is bleeding. He's bleeding blatantly after all these fucking headbutts. And he's just trying not to fall into the goddamn barbed wire. Well, what does Mr. Togo do? He's looking down at the ref like, you sure I want to get you sure I won't get my limbs blown off? Because if you looked at his face, like when he's about to get pushed into the barbed wire, he had the scariest look on his face. Like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah, so I would have the same face.
I mean, listen, I agree because I don't know where the fuck it just from the screen. It just looks like the whole thing blows up.
Right.
So like, I would be so worried about that. I don't know. That's just me. But anyway, he gets thrown into it. Crowd goes wild. The funniest part is that Onita takes the closest commentator, a booker, and throws him into the fucking barbed wire. Fucking more explosions.
I love that part.
I did. James Bay, eat your heart out.
Number 4.
It's Michael.
All right.
Hey, it's Michael Bay.
Oh, is it Michael Bay?
Yes.
Same thing.
Idiot.
Same thing. Fuck, I'm high. I can't help it. All right.
I know.
Anyway,
Got that
so Onita's
gas.
bleeding. Onita's bleeding profusely. He's got like a Phantom of the Opera type of thing going on with his face. Mr. Cujo is busted wide open, gets back into the ring, and gets dropped with a barrage of fucking DDTs. Onita climbed to the top rope, hit the last DDT, and finished off Mr. Yo-Yo. So long story short, there were 4 to 6 wrestling maneuvers, give or take. There was about a quart of blood in this epic death match, I would say. And the cute wild thing, Mr. Onita wins with the top rope DVT. And that's it. And then I think Onita drops a fucking pipe bomb.
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell.
Cuts a really good promo at the end, apparently. I don't know. I would love to know what he was saying. But once again, our Japanese translator has been unfollowed.
She sucks.
But she could have translated it, Mike.
That's right.
She could have, but she didn't because
My
she
Duolingo.
posts terrible content.
Listen, I don't know what the hell he said, but he started crying, tears of pain. And Pogo, he just kept saying Pogo, Pogo all over and over again. So I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. But then like this intimate music started playing over his speech.
Yeah.
Like it got real sensual in that bitch.
Yeah.
I was just like, what the fuck is going on? And then I thought about it. It's episode 69, baby.
That's right, baby.
That's what it is.
69.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me turn up the bass in my voice. 69.
Nice. I don't know what the hell Aaron gave me for a match, but towards the end, it sounded like the shit between Mr. Pogo and Onita.
Say that again. You got cut off.
Oh, I was basically saying, I don't know what you gave me for a match, but towards the end, it sounded like something got personal between Mr. Pogo and Onita.
That's right.
But it got solved in the goddamn death match. Let's go to my honorable mentions.
All right.
The referee is the smartest person in attendance at this event. He's the only person I saw wearing goggles. If I were in a death match, I call for mandatory goggle usage because fuck getting some shrapnel in your eye.
That's right.
As a wrestler in the middle of a goddamn death match. Referee's the smartest person in the match, man. And that's why I give this match 3.5 cookies.
Oh, 3.5. That's actually more than I thought that you were going to give it.
Oh, well, it was originally going to get 2, but I really like the intimate music at the end. It gave the match like a certain je ne sais quoi. But, you know, Onita, there we go, seemed pissed, and his bloody rant was kind of cool. It was kind of Don Morocco-esque.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, okay. I'll give it a couple more.
I scrolled through the comments of the YouTube video,
Right.
and my favorite was one. There's like a bunch of like Japanese comments, and you can't read them because we don't have a translator apparently anymore.
No.
And
Whose fault is that?
Thanks,
yours.
Okay.
But the one I liked was like somebody was like, Pogo looks like shit, but Onita made him look like $1 million.
That should have been my top 4. That's it. That's all I should have said.
Cookie, what were your thoughts when Onita was just dripping blood after that first like bomb went off, and it took him 5 minutes to get back in the ring?
Oh my god, man!
It was so gross.
I was just like, okay, this is definitely too hot for TV. I don't want to watch this. This is disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
It's kind of crazy, and you can kind of see Onita tried to have a career in acting, and he's very, very melodramatic throughout the whole match. Like everything's very like, this is the most epic thing that I'm doing right now sort of style. I like him. Like it's interesting, but he's very, it's different. It's not a very traditional Western style professional wrestling selling.
Like you said, melodramatic is the perfect word for him. I mean, like he comes out of that first barbed wire and his face is just like,
nobody can see that, Cookie.
what do you mean? Well, you can see it. What do you?
Yeah, I can see it.
Like
Right. Yeah,
well,
I
I was
know what you're
getting
saying.
to it. Like he made this very
It
serious,
was very melodramatic.
Yeah, and I dug it. Like I thought it was very entertaining. Like I sat and watched it and kind of, I was entertained throughout the whole match. It was not.
I want to know why you just ruined my shtick right there. My shtick.
Which stick?
I was about to like give my whole thing. I was about to do my whole acting thing right.
Yeah,
there.
because nobody can see your acting. This is not a video podcast.
We're not taping these yet.
Oh, I thought we were being recorded. All right, no.
We are, but
Audio,
nobody's gonna
not
watch
visual.
this shit.
Oh well, shit, man. What the fuck? I was gonna use this for my portfolio.
Your headshot. I hope you get a headshot right now.
His port
Like this is the perfect time to get a headshot, Cookie. They're gonna be like, we're gonna hire this man for a nothing. All right, for the high spot, you've kind of been all about. I've seen you kind of chomping at the bit throughout this entire thing. Like you were ready to talk about your matchup, Tolbert.
This is episode 69. This is quite the high spot, I have to say. there's not ever been a high spot where you can say at a minute 5:05 we see full bush.
On YouTube. Tolbert, you have got the bathhouse death match between Tarzan Goto and Mr. Gannosuke versus the Headhunters.
God damn. Where did you find this?
I don't know. I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
I walked in and said, Aaron, I don't know how that video is still on YouTube.
So many questions. So many questions. First of all, like I said, where did you find this?
I don't know.
Where did it air?
In Japan, they don't care about that sort of stuff. Nudity's fine in Japan.
Oh, apparently. All right.
And full disclosure, this is not a pornographic video. Don't give me that
Damn
look.
near
Don't give me a
close.
look, Barbara Varnum.
It's got some vibes. It's got some vibes.
There's a lot of
It's got
titties and bush.
This is Kenny Omega's earliest work.
Kitty's over there like taking notes. Like he's like, ooh, if only I put a hand movement in right there.
We have a lot of cinematic cuts and sequences. We have a lot of vignettes.
You know what, man? Like thinking about this is like a precursor to what a lot of professional wrestling has become now because of the pandemic.
I didn't even think
Wrestling in bathhouses?
But like a cinematic feel to it where it's like not shot on location at the arena.
And this is very early. I would say I didn't look up what year this was. If I
think
had
it was
to guess.
95.
Dude, I would say even earlier than that.
What? Yeah, that sounds right. 95.
Anyway,
Zane will call me out.
All right, so we have a bathhouse death match. I never ever thought I would say those words.
Me
on the high
either.
spot. All right, so Tarzan Goto versus Mr.
And Mr.
and Mr.
Gannosuke, I think. I don't
versus
know.
the Headhunters.
The Headhunters, yes.
Right. Hard to tell these guys apart.
Because they're twins.
Yeah, and they're huge. And one wears blue shorts, one wears black shorts. That's the only way to tell them apart. A and B. That's how they announce them. All right. So this is a bathhouse death match. Let me paint a picture real quick. Let me set the stage, right? It's very confusing. All I have to say is like go to our links where you can see them. Definitely watch this and make some popcorn, have a good time.
Yeah, people
After
might be
your
having
wife
more
or
good times than you
girlfriend goes
think. yeah. This is like HBO after 11 o'clock in the 90s.
This is like real sex. Real sex.
Is this
International
Taxi Cab
Wrestling
Confessionals?
Association.
Who put Cinemax on?
So let me set the stage. It's a traditional Japanese bathhouse.
That's right.
We've got the lockers. We got the men's bathing room over the side where you can actually see naked Japanese men bathing and attending to their necessaries.
Yeah.
It's been a hard day at work.
That's right.
You're just trying to have a hot bath and scrub down. But in the center of the entrance area, we have a wrestling ring. We have a mat.
That's right.
No ropes, but we just have a mat, like almost like a sumo mat.
Or
in the bathhouse, right?
Yeah.
We have some, I would call them ring girls. I don't know if you would say. Some
Sure.
scantily clad, sheepish Japanese ladies. You just kind of hanging out.
That's right.
Right? I don't know if you guys are Always Sunny in Philadelphia fans, but
Uh-huh.
the only way I can think to describe the ring announcer is Japanese day man.
Day man.
Yeah. Full yellow suit, dressed to the nines,
Cookies
ready
listening.
to go, right? And don't know what he's saying because it's in Japanese. but
And I
he's
think
hyped.
we would know what they were saying if we had a Japanese translator.
we would.
Once again,
We would, but we don't.
We don't have a Japanese translator anymore.
I think
We
this
have to like tweet at her to
Apologize?
first apologize and like please translate this match.
Please translate everything for us because you are a Japanese translator that Aaron followed because of the utility of having a Japanese translator.
Yes. So, Dayman introduces the first competitors, which is Tarzan Goto and Mr. Gannosuke. I just want to say I really appreciate Tarzan's general vibe through
He
the
looks like
whole
a Tarzan, yeah.
and he's just there to have a good fucking time.
He
man.
breaks character the entire time. He like giggles the entire
whole
time.
He's just like, fuck yeah, I'm having fun, dude. He's like, yeah.
Did you see those titties? I did too.
Yeah. So they come in. I love how they have this like really metal riff that
Yeah.
introduces them. But I love these little subtleties you get in wrestling matches sometimes where they enter and it has this like killer metal riff and then it just cuts, but there's like an audio pause for like a second or it's like it should be crickets.
Right.
And they're like, yeah. By the way, both these guys have glorious hairstyles.
I think Goto, I was looking at some of the comments on this, and one of the comments was he looks like a Japanese Macho Man Randy Savage.
He does.
Or the lead singer of Alabama.
Somewhere in between.
Yeah,
It's like,
right.
it's right in between. Anyway, then we have the Headhunters come in, and they're big boys. I don't know what nationality. They're definitely Pacific Islanders for sure, right?
Yeah,
Like,
they
big
actually had a
dudes.
little stint in WWF. They were in WWF for just a little bit.
Yeah, so they come in. The ring girls are visibly surprised by their size and just their appearance. I mean, they're huge. They're huge. They come in, they do their woo.
They look like two Abdullah the Butchers.
They do. They really do.
And they got their face paint. You can't tell them apart. They're identical.
Do you know what's really funny?
What's that?
They are known as Headhunter A and Headhunter B.
Yeah, and that's how they introduce them is A and B, because you can't tell them apart. Seriously. So Golden Boy gets it going. It says, "Hey, it brings in the ref. We got some rules here, right? It's a tag team match, but it's not your typical setup." So they're like, Tarzan, B, you have to go sit in these jacuzzi hot tubs right here, right? This is where you have to wait to get tagged in. Tarzan was all for it.
Yeah,
man.
he's like, relaxing?
Fuck yeah, dude. I get to warm up my joints before I wrestle. And he starts, I laugh so hard. He starts fucking splashing one of the Headhunters. He starts splashing him back. Like you said, he breaks character the whole time. He's so into it. So yeah, that's the rules. All right. So we go back to the ring. Gannosuke goes right in on one of the Headhunters, man. We start slapping, we get punches, we get some submissions. It's awesome, right? We get our first tag, right? Tarzan comes out of the bath. I love the shots when he comes out of the bath and he's going in one of the Headhunters, going for submissions. You see like the water dropping.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
It gets very like semi-erotic this whole time, some of these shots. It's very comical. So, we get some back and forth right off the bat. You see Tarzan when he comes in, he goes in for the ring girls, right? He's
Right.
like, oh, you can't understand what he's saying, but he's saying some things to the ladies. So he has one of the Headhunters, and right off the bat, he's like, fuck this. This is a death match. There's no rules. I'm going to throw this motherfucker right through the ladies' locker room. And that he does. And this is where it takes a hard left turn.
I don't like at some point I was kind of thinking that maybe they didn't let these people know that this was going to
I
happen.
definitely
Yeah.
think they didn't let them know.
I don't know what was going on. I mean, from the start, if you watch this link, you click it, it's on YouTube. Right off the bat, you're like, what the fuck? Then you're like, wait, what the fuck?
I was like, is that a titty? Oh my God.
just
They're
thought-
in
It's
the
like a
women's locker room.
close-up.
I
It was
just
a
thought when I
close-up of
first
him.
watched this, my wife was upstairs in bed because she'd been like, what are you watching?
Just blame it on Aaron.
So Tarzan throws one of the Headhunters through the ladies' locker room.
Rocker room.
Locker room.
Locker room. And we see a full-on nipple shot
Mhm.
right off the bat.
It was like
Full-on
a
nipple
close
shot.
up. Yes.
Close up. And then we see naked Japanese ladies running back and forth, startled because two
Enormous man.
every bit of like 6'9" wrestlers just like busted through the door.
I will say, the Headhunters' titties were bigger than
Yeah,
the
oh,
women's is, but it was very
But we
disturbing.
have some tight shots of some butts, some nipples, and like I said, at minute 5:04, we have full bush exiting some of the hot tubs. I'm just reporting what Aaron's giving me. That's all I'm doing. Don't blame me. But yeah, and during this time, his tag team partner Gannosuke and Headhunter B or A, I don't know which
Right.
one.
We're going to
They're
say B for
They're
that.
pissed. They're like, what the fuck? tag us in. Like, they want part of the action. But those guys are just kind of beating the shit out of each other while naked Japanese women are running back and forth.
Right.
Eventually, we make it back to the ring where it's supposed to be. I assume Tarzan had that in the repertoire.
He knew he was playing.
He played it. He's going right for it. Yeah. I did like the spot where Tarzan took like the foot bath water and splashed it in the headhunter's face. I have to say, chef kiss.
Yeah, chef kiss. For how terrible we're making this sound, it's very entertaining.
It is kind of. I don't know. Somebody might have been exploited in the filming of this wrestling match. Anyway, we get a bunch of just like kind of craziness. We get a bunch of submission moves, kind of, back and forth. Finally, we get how do you pronounce his name? Monozuki reverse the submission to Gannosuke. Reverse the submission on one of the headhunters, and he gets him in kind of a Boston Crab / Scorpion Deathlock.
Okay.
Variation.
Yeah, that's right.
Makes him tap out.
Okay.
And at some point, we have this little outside kind of shot where they're placing Japanese cards down.
Yeah, I don't know what those were. I would love to know what those were.
Couldn't read them, but the moment one of the headhunters loses, the ref slaps this sticker on his forehead as to mark him the loser immediately.
Well, also, we forgot to talk about one of my favorite parts was
foreman? What would you call him? The groundsman.
Who's
the guy in the crop top?
Charlie.
Yes, Cookie.
I was just gonna say the guy in the crop top putting the logs in the fire. That was bizarre.
Those are very square logs.
So while this is all going on, we have Japanese Dayman and his assistant calling down below to the basement where we have this guy. He's obviously, his job is to load the logs to heat the hot tubs.
Yeah.
Right?
He wants to keep it hot because this is a death match. We want to kill these people. We want to boil them alive.
So during the match, as it escalates, they call down and say, hey, man, heat these hot tubs up. And he keeps on throwing these logs.
That's right. Big logs. Big logs.
Keeps on. But I have to say, the guy's kind of no-sell it the whole time.
Yeah,
as Tarzan's trying to drown one of the headhunters.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
say. They make no reference of the heat that is being.
Well, they probably did. We just don't have a translator.
We don't have a translator.
They're enjoying it between spots because they take these bumps, they take these hits, and they're like, let me jump in this hot tub.
It's not. That would actually be the most comfortable professional wrestling match ever.
But yes, yes, Cookie.
Did you read the comments by any chance?
I did not.
You did not? Can I just share my favorite one that I just saw?
Yeah, sure.
That one chick had a bush you could start a forest fire with.
Dude, yeah. Huge bush. I'm telling you, minute 5
the guy downstairs is probably trying to recruit her. Like, you look like you know how to start a fire.
So, yeah, this is it's an interesting match. I've never seen anything like it ever.
Neither have I, as a professional wrestling.
We have the finish to the match, right? I have to mention the camera guy.
Okay.
At the very end, right?
God, this is what really kind of creeped me out. It really kind of creeped me out.
Wait. Before we get to that, I have to give honorable mention to the underwater camera.
Yeah, that was it was a really bad fish lens that was like kind of off center, so it was very weird.
See one of the headhunters,
and you can't even really see the headhunter for 75% of that shot.
But it's great though.
It's a great shot. It's 90s.
So we come to the end of the match. Headhunters are angry and confused of why they lost this match. They're blaming it on each other. We have the cameraman with a fogged up lens kind of pan in to the other side of the ladies' locker room and just zoom in on some boobs, zoom in on some butts. And it's like they're like, hey, over here. And he kind of turns back real quick and kind of wipes down the lens. It gets really foggy and steamy and
it's voyeuristic. Real sex.
Towards the end.
Episode 69.
So this had to air after midnight in Japan somewhere.
Yeah, we'd like to think that. Yeah.
This by far the most craziest shit you've ever given me.
I think that no thing will ever top that.
You say that, but I'm sure you're going to find something in the depths of the internet.
I had to get that off the dark web for that video.
Anybody listening, you can see where we post the links. Just hopefully this is still up. Find this, make some popcorn, sit down with your lady, or not. Watch this match. I'm telling you, or just do it. Japanese bathhouse death match.
All right, let's hear the haiku.
All right. Hold on.
Can I tell you that I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima, the video game on PlayStation, and one of the parts of the game is to create a haiku like that. That's like one of your objectives in the game. And throughout the game, every time I have to make a haiku, I'm like, Tolbert would have done better.
Dude, I have to say I'm getting really good at this.
Wait, speaking of which, what did you think of Zane's haiku last week?
It was good. It was good. I could have done better.
He's shooting.
He's shooting.
But it was good. But it's going to be hard to top this one, boys.
All right.
A rub-a-dub-dub. 2 headhunters in a tub. I still feel dirty.
That is your greatest haiku you've ever done. That is 100% the best haiku you have ever done.
Thank you. You gave me the content.
Oh my god! I think we need to come up with a like a haiku scrapbook. Like we need to get Travis to make it look very like official. And it's just, the last one will be I still feel dirty. Yes, Cookie.
Can he? My only request: can he say it one more time?
Yes, please, one more time.
A rub-a-dub-dub. 2 headhunters in a tub. I still feel dirty.
There you go. Folks, that has been episode 69 of $2 Steak, a professional wrestling podcast. Do you guys all feel we feel like that we've got all of our our bad
Do you feel like you just deleted your history?
Yeah. After this week's episode, we're going to be banned from Podbean, YouTube, and all the things. Yes, Cookie.
No,
What are you doing, Cookie? Why you look so sad?
No. Sorry, someone's outside the window just flipping me off, and it's Bobby.
Oh, we thought it was your drug dealer. Anyway,
Yeah, he's just doing
the
this.
gas man.
The night man.
He's waving it at us. Folks, next week, episode 70. Who the fuck cares? I'm going to be out of town. Are you guys actually going to do something?
We're going to try to do an open and probably lead into one of our sit-downs with the Dawsons.
Do you know what makes me really sad? There was always that one kid that I fucking hated my senior year of high school that got perfect attendance every year. So he had perfect attendance from kindergarten until his senior year of high school. I don't know how the hell the kid did it, but there was always that one kid. I thought I would be that kid. Will no longer be that kid next week.
We'll figure something out. We'll make up for your slack.
I can't help it, guys. I'd like to, mindfulness, teaching mindfulness with all the therapy that I've been going to for my, my various ailments and anxieties. So next week I will be in the mountains getting my Zen. If you guys would like to call me, I would totally love
What part
to.
of the mountains are you going to?
I'm going to Black Mountain.
Black Mountain.
That's right, baby.
Great golf course, Black Mountain. They got a par 6.
Who
Are
gives
you,
a
are you
fuck?
glamping?
No, we got an Airbnb, baby.
Yeah.
Airbnb. I'm gonna be working on my stuff. Tolbert.
You want to hook you up with some trout?
Yes, please hook me up with some
Trout
trout gear. Too hot for trout. This episode too hot for TV, and just like my father says, too hot for trout. Thank you for listening to $2 Steak, a pro wrestling podcast.